What's up, y'all? Jay Spruill, movies, music, sports, and life, representing the north side of Milwaukee, representing the far, far north side, NAWF, north side of Atlanta, that a lot of us call Gwinnett County. And I'm not gonna waste no time, man, because it's late, and I didn't want to wait till tomorrow. I often contemplate about when is the best time to do these reviews, and I was righteously just about to go to sleep, but I just said no. I know people be wanting to talk about it right when the show goes off. So, you know, when else is a better time than to talk about it right when the show's going off? So, I got 18 notes here, and I will refer to the notes, but I won't be a slave to the notebook. I'm gonna still have some personality with y'all with it. But let's just get right into it. Juliana. Bow. How many of y'all thought that Unique would kill Juliana? I'll raise my hand. I really thought he was gonna do her dirty to send a message. However, what I did not contemplate is that Unique wouldn't dare do that because he would you Rock would take it as more of an insult that you killed Juliana. But then I also forgot who Juliana is connected to. The Colombians that she's connected to are very high ranking and powerful. And that would cause trouble to him. So if you looked at it from the standpoint of playing three dimensional chess, 3D chess, that was a very smart move on Unique's part because I got something that you have to listen to what I say and you have to respect my demands. But also, it's something that he knows that she has to play ball because he understood that Juliana's life is worth much more than his. You know what I'm saying? So, from the standpoint, if something happened to Juliana, that's your ASS. That's something that Rock would not be able to get out of. And she even expressed that to her crew. She let them know, yeah, the money being gone is one thing, but Juliana being gone is something totally different. We don't want those kind of problems, So salute to Unique. That um, I think that these black shows that we watch like this, The Shy hasn't had a lot of violence at all this season, but Snowfall, Power, Book One, Book Two, Book Three, um, a lot of the stuff we watch has what I like to call gratuitous violence. Just like just real graphic messed up violence just for the sake of having it. And I can appreciate when somebody uses his brain and Unique used the threat of violence, but he was smart enough to know all of them are screwed. All the black people will get attacked by the Colombians. Colombians won't care who was responsible or what was the onus of Juliana being dead. The Colombians would have just been like, we killing all of y'all. So I appreciate strategy and something being resolved without brain matter splattering all over our screens all the time. Second note I got Detective Howard, Kanaan, they in the car. A note that I made to myself is that my prediction was wrong. Always come to my channel for the Monday morning predictions when I basically am giving you my thoughts of what I think is going to happen next week. So last week, I told you guys that when Detective Howard aka Omar Epps, gets in the car with young 50 Cent Kanaan, there's no way I'm just gonna tell you that I'm your dad and then not blackmail you. Not now that you know I'm your dad, I want you to do this or this, or I'm gonna do this. He's the first time that he was with him, he just simply told him, and that was all to it. And Kanan was really shocked, and I was kind of shocked because I'm thinking to myself, maybe this dude really do just want a relationship with his son. He's not using him as a pawn. He's not using him as a piece in a chess game. Dude really want to know who his son is. He really wants his son to trust him. Um, Next note, we expanding to Jersey. Somebody just said, "Hey, we don't know who the players are out there." Rock says, "Yeah, but we know the game." Once again, a little bit reckless, a little bit too eager to jump into something, and a little bit too willing to just disregard what the people under her have to say. You know, I think a good leader, different forms of leadership don't always have to be you just dominating the people that are under you. Sometimes great leadership, if you have people under you, is usually because you chose them. If you chose the people under you, in most cases you respect them. And if you respect the people that's under you, sometimes you have to respect what they have to say and what they see. And when they were trying to tell her, "Hey, just moving to Jersey, it's just not that easy," Rock just shrugged it off. She didn't care. But, that's foreshadowing. That will come back up later. All right, so now we got Jukebox singing, and, she's incredible. But then it's like, but how are we going to sell it if the people think you a lesbian? That actually makes a lot of sense because personally, I always kind of knew down deep that Luther Vandross was not a heterosexual, but women loved him, and he never really came out about it in terms of being open about it. I do believe Whitney Houston and perhaps maybe Dionne Warwick, somewhere in there, I believe it might have been Patti LaBelle. One of them made the statement that yeah, Luther is gay and I still love him. But excuse me, miss, what's your name? Can I take you out? Like, if he likes men, you can't have that song title. So, just being real, in terms of the music business, your business is your business in terms of what you do behind closed doors. But if your market is to men or your market is to women, they have to believe that you might be interested in them. That's what the fantasy is. You know what I'm saying? It's like Jukebox dressing like that and singing like that. Yeah, that would be confusing. You know what I mean? Um, it doesn't matter how politically correct we want to get. This is a business, and the artists are packages, packages to be sold. It used to be in CD form and cassette form. Now you're packaged online. When they see that little album cover and they download it on their phones and computers, you're still a package. You're still a commodity. So I had a tough time figuring out why Juke got so mad at Lou when he said something to the effect, we know what you could be or what you maybe he said something to the effect what you used to have. Maybe she took that as a shot towards Nicole being dead. It kind of went over my head. Y'all have to let me know in the comments of why she paused and looked at her uncle and got so upset, because I actually rewound that clip 3 or 4 times, and each time I still wasn't able to ascertain what it was that Lou said that even he knew, like, hey, I didn't mean it like that. That it just completely went over my head. Um the sixth notes I have the sixth note that I have. Um Crown Camacho said, "Oh, you hate me because I was looking out for your girl." And once again, for some reason, I was thinking he was just gonna shoot. I just thought he was just gonna kill him. But he played it real slick and said, "Nah, you give me so many other reasons to hate on you." So maybe that still is foreboding or ominous from the standpoint that he's just letting it know, hey, I really, really don't like you. And if I do pop you, you can just be guessing what is the reason I'm popping you. So basically, he's letting you know, you sending my girl to California, that could be number 23 on the list. you know. So I thought that was kind of slick on Lou's part, and I guess it makes sense too, because if I'm your enemy, I still have the advantage if you don't know specifically why I'm coming at you. Because if you don't know why I'm coming at you, you're gonna have a hard time figuring out when I'm gonna act on it. Let me see. I put a note right here. Marv thinks therapy is corny. You know, the other people seem real irritated with him because he seems like he's the only one there who thinks like he's above it, and that what the therapist is saying doesn't apply to him. And they stay in there for a little while, and then they transition to another scene. But that's what I said in my head, and that's what I wrote down. It's like he really think that therapy is beneath him. Like he thinks everybody else is cornballs for being there, even though it's court ordered that he has to do this. Why didn't my mother tell me about Scrappy? Hey, New York people trip me out. Mother. Why didn't my mother tell me about Scrappy? Hey, Kanaan, man, you kind of slow, bro. It's like, I know your mama's fine, and I know you love your mama, but in my opinion, at some point, you would have to be able to see or pick up on the fact that your mom is gonna do what's best for your mom, not necessarily what's best for you. And she definitely isn't going to keep your feelings in mind when she makes certain moves. And that's definitely the case in the situation with Scrap. Even though she probably eventually is going to find out that she was in the wrong for what she did, she feels like she was protecting him. But I don't know why she's so afraid of just telling Kanan what it is outright. Maybe she feels like she could lose him, and she doesn't want to lose him. She doesn't want Kanan to turn on her. But just in my opinion, and y'all can let me know in the comments if you feel the same way I do, he's gonna turn on you anyway if he feels like everything that you do around him is a lie. And then it's one thing to lie about little stuff, but once he starts picking up on the fact that you would lie something as big as who his father is, these are the kind of things that can put you in a situation where your child doesn't forgive you. And as a parent, nobody wants that. Um, so she pulls out the big old cell phone, that 19, I'm gonna call that an 87 cell phone, even though it's supposed to be the year, I believe, 88, 89. And she is walking around that house and she can't get in and she's trying to figure out what's going on. And I think her wheels are turning that they've been hit. Like, part of her wanted to agree with Marvin that she dipped on them, took the money, and went back to her country. But I think she knows Juliana better than that. And she knows the kind of business that she's in, that it's more likely that somebody got at her as opposed to her trying to run off with her money. Oh boy, Lou looks at the beeper, says, I'm working, Rock. And that didn't end up becoming a worse situation than I thought it was, but I'm thinking to myself, man, you might want to go out to LA yourself and move this equipment, move this studio, move your artists. Because if being an artist, a producer, record label owner is that much more important to you, this woman will kill you over that. Your sister will kill you over that. You can't be so casual as to say, I'm working right now, Rocky, and I'm not answering the page. It's like, this isn't the kind of business where you can put in a 2 week notice and say, hey, I no longer want to work for you. That's what I can do. A square. Somebody that has made an effort to not make my money through crime. All of us are squares if we choose to go straight and not use crime. And I don't say squares in a way of us being less than criminals because I don't think highly of criminals. But at any rate, um, Kanaan stole a brick. I don't know how serious that is. I don't know how much they're moving. If they moving a whole lot, maybe they won't miss it. But one thing you have to consider, Kanaan could get one of his mother's employees killed. Because if she calculates that a brick is missing and they can't account for it, you know the next thing that they're gonna say, she's gonna be like, well, who else was in here? Then they're gonna be like, well, your son came in. Are you saying my son stole a quarter pound of cocaine? Bam! And then that blood will be on Canaan's hands. That'll be his fault. So, yeah, at first I was thinking it's no big deal, but no, that is a very big deal. Um, so they trying to figure out who hit the spot, who stole all her money. And she says, I know who did this, and so do you. And Lou is saying, Unique wouldn't be crazy enough to do that. And it's like, no, he is. Either crazy or desperate. Remember, the plug said desperation doesn't suit you, Unique. Saying, you've been so big, bad, and tough. You coming up to me pleading. It's almost like somebody scratching a chalkboard. It's like, It makes my ears bleed to hear you begging me, to for me to be a plug again. Uh, Burkham, I keep forgetting her last name. Detective Howard's partner is visiting with her dad, and her dad told her what it is straight up. I'm assuming the dad used to be a cop too, but she's saying there is no wondering about your partner. They say wondering about your partner will get you killed. It seems like he's saying it seems like he was saying, even if I'm a racist and I don't like black people, you get in the car with that black person, that black person is your partner. You throw all that racial stuff out, and I don't think she's gonna heed her dad's advice. You know, it also seemed like her dad was trying to tell her you're breaking the code. You don't snitch on your partners, but this young lady doesn't seem to care, and it definitely feels like I did make a prediction in one of my videos from last week. She's going to force Omar Epps slash Detective Howard to make a move on her to either get her TV turned off, as Hassan Campbell likes to say, or he's gonna have to frame her so she have to go sit down and do jail time because she just won't leave it alone. She won't listen. Detective Howard is telling her to listen. Her dad is telling her. She's very hard headed. Um, Rock came to the studio. Hey, it's time to work, Lou. And she didn't say batter up this time, but you know what it means when she said it's time to work. Oh, and raise your hand. Don't give me a like because you like this video. Just give me a like. Hit the like button if Marvin trying to be cool and center himself and say namaste and fold his legs and sit in his yoga stance to keep his cool about the dude in the wheelchair. The dude in the wheelchair was talking cash ish. Man. And Marvin literally caught himself. And then what was his exact words? I hear you and I understand. And the dude kind of looked back like what kind of psychedelic new age stuff is that? But he got in the elevator. And then Marvin just smiled like it felt good to not always solve all his problems with anger and violence. You know what I'm saying? So I can definitely picture him getting into a relationship with the therapist because that was a moment where it was a dude from the hood that tried something new and trying something new and it working, it felt good, you know? Um Unique finally gets the meeting that he wants. He has Juliana tied up. He basically says, I'm gonna give you Juliana back, I'm gonna give you your money back. I just don't want no retaliation against my family. And Rock says you got it. I don't know if I could trust that. I would say I would have told her I get to keep some of this money to help me relocate. And then I'm going to Rhode Island, Connecticut. Hey, New Jersey is too close. All right. I'm going to Boston, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Vermont, somewhere on the east, and I'm finna settle down. Like, if I'm gonna be retired, like he said, I'm gonna retire for real because I can't stick around close enough that Rock just shrugs her shoulders and decides to hit me or hit my girlfriend or my son and take us out. But that's just me. And then the final scene, once again, my prediction was wrong. Howard meets with his son, tells him, I know that you shot me, and then just keeps it moving. Like, Maybe he doesn't need to put any extra pressure on Kanaan or extort him because he realizes that once he realizes how much his mother has been lying to him, I'm guessing Detective Howard feels that Kanaan is gonna do the work for me. I don't need to do anything else because the betrayal that he is going to feel is going to outweigh the loyalty that he normally has for his mother. Jay Spruill, movies, music, sports, and life. We out of here.